Good afternoon. Psalm 139:16. You saw my body as it was formed, all the days planned for me before I was 1 day old. Growing up, I am always in trouble with my brothers and sisters and my mom, most of the time, but at times with my dad, because I was my dad's favorite growing up. I have 2 older brothers, so I played the boys' game, but not that tough or strong or fast like them, so they don't want to play with me. Next to me is my sister Amy, or we call it in the Philippines, Amy, who is 2 years younger, very sweet, refined lady, or refined girl, obedient, has a fair white complexion. We call her Mestiza. And pretty, not to mention that she's bright. Always belongs to the top of her class and became my mom's favorite. So growing up, I didn't like her at all because she's boring. So since my brothers don't like me, I was forced to make my own boys' toys. Kite made of old newspapers and coconut lipsticks. Cars made out of tin cans whose wheels were made or carved from old worn-out slippers. I made slingshots myself out of guava branch. I won a lot of rubber bands and many more boys' games. Every time I got in trouble and punished, I would go into seclusions, and oftentimes I would ask myself, why am I here? Why was I born into this family? Into this body? Now, you know, I grew up in a religious family, so I know God at the time. So I often wonder, my life before I was assigned by God to be born in a human form, that I was an angel, happily living up in heaven, then God sent me down to this family, to this body, not in one of my brothers or in my pretty sister's body, but to my own brown body, and named me Annette. I didn't like it. God didn't give me a chance to choose. How unfair is that? Fast forward today. Yes, if I could turn back the hands of time, I would not trade my growing up years. It was full of fun, excitement, drama, bruised and skinned knees, but it was great. I maybe would just change my behavior had I known better. Looking back, there are things that I thought I couldn't survive. That there are so many things that I thought God is done with me. Yet, I am still standing here today in front of all of you all, feeling loved, blessed by God's enormous mercy. How unfair is that? In 2013, when my son was doing drugs, went homeless for a while, I was devastated, lost, confused. How could this be? How can I survive with this so much pain? What shall I do? It was so overwhelming that breathing hurts. I just want to die and get over it. But it was just the beginning of a long journey of faith, unconditional love, of endless mercy and grace. God said 400 times in the Bible that we are like sheep. Sheep are foolish animals. They don't know what to do, as if they don't have brains. When they topple down, they don't know how to get up. Sheep goes running off away from the flock. They eat poisonous things along the way, jump off a cliff, get hurt or lost. God knows we are like sheep and that we need a shepherd. That's why He sent His only Son, Jesus Christ. But it was not as easy as it sounds. When the shepherd found his lost sheep, the sheep does not go with him without a fight. The only way the shepherd can bring the sheep back to safety is to capture the sheep, bind its legs, and throw it over his shoulders and carry it home. Now, for the sheep's perspective, it thinks that it's being captured and will be slaughtered. But the only thing the shepherd was doing is saving his life, or saving its life. It is so much like in our life, in my life particularly, when trials comes, I thought, God is punishing me for all my sins. I thought I was forgiven. When I thought my life was tumbling down, shattered into pieces, God was just putting my life into rightful places. And as I did mention earlier, the journey of mine is a long, painful, tiresome one that at times I would feel upset, frustrated, very impatient. But God surely knows me. And indeed, with His mercy and grace, He gave me some helping hands, sending me to beautiful angels to keep company. One is right here. It encourages and assures me that God, He is still in control. Philippians 1:16, being confident of this very thing, that He which has begun a good work in you will perfect it until the day of Jesus Christ.
Amen.